Good evening, Al-Pam viewers. It is producer Ken. I am pinch hitting tonight. It is convention week. We got a lot of stuff going on, and also we got a lot of great things going on here in the Al-Pam viewing area. Tonight we are talking to an old friend, a leader, a community advocate, and our current representative for District 5, Bill Ward. Representative Ward, good evening, my friend. First question, let's talk about this past session. Talk about what were the highlights and what was really good for District 5.
Well, Ken, first, thanks for having me on. We appreciate the opportunity to come on and speak to the residents here in the Al-Pam area. As far as what happened in this short session, we're still in short session, but we actually in an adjournment right now. But we had a lot of stuff going on in this short session. We worked really hard. We passed a lot of bills that were sent to the Senate, and we passed a lot that went to the governor. The governor has vetoed 5 as of now, which we're looking at going back to override at the end of this month, possibly. But there's been some good stuff come out of this session. We're really still working on taxes, individual taxes. We've as you know, in the long session, we reduced individual taxes, and we're still looking at that because of the inflation that we're seeing. I mean, we're doing what we can to try and relieve our citizens of North Carolina with the burdens that they have, and put a little more money in their pocket so they're able to buy the essentials that they need in life. But we've done some really good bills. I mean, we've cracked down on mass criminals by introducing legislation that lets those that are rioting or demonstrating wearing masks and doing criminal acts. We've enhanced that and made a crime for them to do that. We've looked at juveniles. We're combating gang recruitment of juveniles. We're strengthening our NCDOT accountability. We've clarified that only U.S. citizens can vote in state elections. We've improved the process of removing squatters from homes. We just go on and on. We've authorized pay raises for teachers and school employees. Unfortunately, that did not pass this session because we didn't get a budget. But we really did have some good raises for teachers and school employees as well as state employees. Hopefully, we'll be able to bring that to the floor as we come back in the long session in January. One thing we did really do that's important to me, we extended the child care, the stabilization program. We extended child care funding. We passed emergency funding of $63 million to continue to try and help with the child care issues so that we can keep the qualified people employed that are doing child care with the subsidies from the state. Another one that's really important to me was we looked at human trafficking. We passed a bill on human trafficking that enhances the penalties for those that are involved in human trafficking. We've also we repealed the literacy test, which has been on our state constitution for years and years and years. There's no longer any need for that. We've repealed that. We've banned another one that's important is we banned the drug tianeptine. It's a hard word, but better known as gas station heroin.
Okay.
Which is available locally, and that's a real important step moving forward. But there's just so many things that we've done. I mean, we passed legislation to expand rural broadband, among other things. So it's just been a hectic session for the short session. We got a lot of work done, and hopefully we're going to see some good results coming out of that. We'll have some stuff that we can carry over into the long session. And when we're reelected, we can get there and get these bills back on the floor and get them passed.
A lot of our folks here in the Al-Pam Viewing Network cares deeply about election integrity. Talk again about what was on this past session, and what do you see when it comes to election integrity? Because I know we've got an important election coming up to reelect you in November and support the
Oh, yeah.
president, Mark Robinson. So talk about election integrity.
Well, yeah, as you know, in the long session, we passed the voter ID bill, and that's in law now. You have to have voter ID. But we also looked at cleaning up the voter rolls. We passed some legislation that's going to affect the State Board of Elections, require them to review their voter rolls more closely and to purge as necessary those that are no longer eligible voters in North Carolina. So that's just part of it.
I know you care deeply about folks here in District 5. Can you talk about what do you think are some of the issues that you hear from folks and you hope to address in future sessions?
Well, actually, District 5 is 3 of our counties are Tier 1 counties, which are the poorest counties in the state. And we have been working very hard to try and bring funding from the state to these counties to increase their infrastructure. With the increase of infrastructure, water, sewer specifically, that makes them more attractive to businesses, for businesses to come in and meet their needs. Inflation is the biggest thing. I mean, my gosh, have you been to the grocery store lately?
Oh, sure. Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
And that's really the big thing. We're seeing, people have their money's buying less and they're struggling, and we understand that. And that's what we're working towards in the legislature, to be able to relieve some of the pressure on these individuals.
What about anything with tourism or with jobs in District 5? I know tourism is especially important. Anything you hear from folks, and what are you doing or addressing in our community with that?
Well, actually, we're seeing an uptick in tourism in the district. We work very closely with the counties and with the economic development people in the counties, and they're really pushing to increase tourism by highlighting the natural beauty and the things that we have in this area. As far as jobs, we're working as hard as we can to locate businesses and entice them to come to our district. We have one specific one that we've been working on. We haven't been able to get state funding for this yet, but it would create a position for 151 employees at a salary of about $60,000 a year.
That's good.
That's something that we really need, because I mean, it's in one specific county, but it will bleed out to the rest of the counties, because we'll have employees coming from the rest of the counties in the district, as well as the funding that will go that way. We're still working hard over in Hertford County. Our economic development person there she's really working hard to get an expansion of some businesses over there in Hertford County. We have a site ready. We have businesses that are interested, and we're working with them to try and go ahead and get this ball rolling, which is going to create more jobs specifically for Hertford County. Gates County, their 2 biggest employers over there are actually lumber mills, and we're seeing them expand because of the need for more lumber throughout the world. I mean, they're shipping lumber for all over the world, and it's just we're very hopeful that we're going to see these expansions, and we're going to see these jobs grow within our areas for the district, and it's just going to be good for everybody.
We know the Al-Pam viewers care deeply about you and basically wanting for your reelection in District 5. What are you hoping for next session after we get through your reelection, and what are you hoping to support, or what's your real focuses in the future for our district?
Well, in actuality, we're looking forward to reelection. We're looking forward to getting back in Raleigh in the long session. We have a lot of bills that are being looked at now. A lot of work is being done in preparation for the long session. Economic development is a big thing. Working on of course, inflation and taxes are a big thing. As I said, we've reduced taxes in the last long session, and as long as triggers are met, we're going to continue to reduce personal income taxes. By 2026, we should be down to 3.99% for individuals. As far as we want to expand our tourism with some of the natural beauties that we have here in the district. We just want to see jobs. We want to see people do well. We want to work towards education. As you know, we brought back a lot of money to the district for our community colleges that are making workforce ready for individuals. And we're continuing to work in that area so that we can see our population, our citizens, grow and actually be prosperous in the district.
Well, Al-Pam viewers, make sure you get out and vote. It's convention week. Representative Ward, you're great. Thank you for coming. Again, Al-Pam viewers, thank you for watching. Producer Ken is pinch hitting, and have a great night. And thank you for watching the Al-Pam News Network.